What's going on, YouTube? Frisky here with another Destiny video. Today's video is going to continue that mini-series. Today we are going to go over my Warlock subclass build for PvE and PvP, along with appropriate gear that I use, generic gear again. So let's jump right into it. Let's go into the wonderful Stormcaller, Raiden from Mortal Kombat, huh? PvP, let's go with PvP. PvP, I usually rock the Arc Bolt grenade. They don't really have any type of vortex kind of grenade. Not really a fan of the Pulse or the Storm. A lot of people do like the Storm. I personally like the Arc Bolt. Gives them a little zap, causes them to run, chase after them with a Pulse Rifle. I kill them. I stick with Focus Burst. I always stick with Superconductor, not Landfall. I'll explain to you why. Again, my setup, just giving you guys tips, giving you guys some help. I run the Amplitude, which your Thunderstrike has a greater range. I mean, let's be honest here. The damn Thunderstrike range is like Sniper Rifle range half the time, and it's kind of irritating. But, and I mean, it is what it is. Plus, with Superconductor, it enhances your Lightning's chaining ability, along with the next thing that I choose, Transcendence. Restores your health and drains slower. It lasts for fucking ever. This Storm Trance Super lasts forever. A little too long in my opinion. And then I also run the Arc Web, damaged by my grenades, chained and deadly enemies. The Arc Web is essentially like the Lucky Raspberry chest for the Hunter, where it like chains the lightning to more enemies, and it goes a little bit further. And paired with the Arc Bolt grenade, it's kind of a nice thing. I mean, you can really zap a lot of people with an Arc Bolt grenade so long as you have those. I usually don't use Electrostatic Mine. Nearby enemies take damage when your Storm Trance is active, or Perpetual Charge, which is nice. Grenade kills recharge melee, melee kills recharge grenade. They're cool, again, but this is just my setup. I usually don't even do the Thunderstrike to nearby enemies or to Rising Storm. Hits with it do charge, which are nice, so if you want a faster super build on your Stormcaller, go ahead with Rising Storm. I'm just all about that range. Just kind of how I roll. The reason I don't use Landfall is right here, because I use the Impossible Machines for PvP. They're not game-changing, but they are nice. I don't recommend running into a mob of enemies just to jump over them and then pop your super. But it will give a nice zap, if you're around some and then you pop it. I don't recommend like running into anybody. But anyway, that's what I use for PvE, for PvP. For PvE, it just about stays the same. Oh, I guess I could mention the Ionic Blink for PvP. Some people use it. Again, just my subclass setup. And again, I rock armor and recovery. Fuck the agility, let's be honest. PvE, guess what? Nothing changes. It's just how I roll. Arc Bolt, a lot of mobs, Thrall, Taken, linked with Arc Web. I still use Transcendence to make it last longer. I use Superconductor, even when I'm not using the Impossible Machines. Doubles, the chaining abilities. So for my gear, 9 times out of 10, I will rock my 310 Grasp of Ear, reload with Sniper, because I also want the Buddy System perk, which is right here, faster reload speed and aura. So I usually rock that. And then for this, I mean, nothing really. I mean, honestly, choose whatever you're comfortable with. Maybe the Alchemist Raiment, I guess. I mean, Glimmer on Primary recharges your grenade with your super full. Even Heartopraxic. I mean, really the exotic for PvE, at least with me, is whatever you're comfortable with. Maybe I'll rock Light Beyond Nemesis to give my teammates an extra orb when I pop my super. It's kind of really up to you. Depending on the perks you have on your exotic, or don't run an exotic at all. Your prerogative. Let's move to the old Voidwalker, a class that I don't use nearly as much, although I will when them Nothing Manacles come back. And that'll be another video discussing the year 1, the exotics, plus the couple of year 2. That'll be another video. We'll save that for later. Let's go to PvP on my Voidwalker. Alright, so currently I use the Axion Bolt. Chases him down quite far. I use Blink. I always use Lance. I'm just a direct kind of shot. I don't like to do the Shatter, although I guess if I'm feeling froggy, I will. I just like to do one hard, fucking monstrous Nova Bomb. Because a Nova Bomb, in my opinion, is wasted if you do it on one dude, which I know that Shatter can shatter into 3 and, knock out a couple, but I usually go for targets of 2 to 3 or more, and just launch that damn thing at him. Pro tip, MLG tip, whatever you want to call it, don't ever try to launch your Nova Bomb directly into somebody, because you have to be pretty damn well accurate. Hit it at the ground at their feet or, on the wall, because if you try to shoot them right at it and they happen to get that lucky time jump, that Nova Bomb is gone. It's gone right by him and you just wasted your super, and then you're probably dead because you're pissed off that you missed the super because you're not really paying attention to the firefight, and then you die. For my energy drain, I always go with Lifesteal. I do Nova Bomb tracks enemies because it's nice. I mean, it does nice. I'm going to show you a little control build for Vortex here in a minute. And then I also use Embrace the Void. Damaging enemies with a Nova Bomb triggers the drain effect. So if I damage enemies with my Nova Bomb or my grenade, it triggers the Lifesteal. So I will get health. So whatever energy drain effect I have. So that's why I rock that. Let's talk about a quick zone control. In the zone control, for PvP, I'm going to use, Beyond Nemesis if I'm in Trials. I'll use Void Fang Vestments because you spawn with that full grenade. They don't do 2 anymore, but that's okay. You do spawn with a grenade. Or you could rock Claws of Ahimkara because you get 2 melee charges for any class, so, you can get 2 lifesteals if you want. Obsidian Mine is really great for PvE, honestly, because you need a lot of massive amount of enemies. Like, this used to work good in Crota's, in the Thrallway, or not in the Thrallway, excuse me, in the Abyss. Well, the Thrallway would have worked too, but in the Abyss. So I usually rock Light Beyond Nemesis, pretty much something like that. So let's go over a small little control build. If you run the Skull of Ahimkara, which increases your siphon or improves siphon abilities, and you're playing control and you want to block down maybe control zones or like little hallways or caveways or whatever, rock yourself a Vortex grenade. Obviously the Vortex on the Nova Bomb. The Annihilate, which increases the explosions of your let's say your Nova Bomb, it'll explode bigger, and then it'll do the Vortex due to Vortex. And then Vortex Mastery, and increases the duration of your Vortex Grenade, the Vortex, Nova Bomb. And then with the Skull of Ahimkara, it improves the abilities. So, plus it makes you harder to kill when you're using your Nova Bomb. That's my little control build. I don't usually use it very much, but if you're ever wanting to just lock down areas, this is a pretty good subclass build, to build yourself around. Again, completely up to you. But that is how I do it. Let's go PvE for Voidwalker. Well, I'll start right off by saying that I do not use Voidwalker for PvE. The reason I don't, had a little mic mess up right there. My fault, guys, for that little break. I usually don't rock Voidwalker for PvE. I used to in Crota's, in the Abyss. It's just, my prerogative. But if I was going to, I would do like some type of lockdown. I would pretty much do this setup right here. Vortex Grenade, Focus Burst, Vortex. I would do Lifesteal still. I would rock the Annihilate and the Vortex Mastery. Honestly, I would try to stop my enemies from coming near me if it was really that big of a deal. I don't usually rock Voidwalker in PvE, but anyway, that is my setup. For armor for PvE, if I was to use Voidwalker, probably Skull of Ahimkara, maybe Obsidian Mine, honestly, because we're in PvE. That's just my little setup. And let's go to Sunsinger, everyone's fan favorite. Sunsinger. All right, let's start with PvE or PvP. You're looking at it, unless I want to run offensively for my super. Firebolt Grenade matched with Viking Funeral and Touch of Flame is LMN OP. They did bring it down a little bit, but it's ridiculous. Little burst from a pulse and a firebolt grenade with Viking Funeral and Touch of Flame. They're gonna die. There's like, I don't know, 3,786 ticks you get worth 7 that are on your health. It's fucking stupid is what I mean. You burn forever. You burn for fucking ever. I always run Fireborn, or if I want to run an offensive super, I'm going to run Radiant Skin. I'm going to run Radiant Skin in 6v6. There's no sense to self-res in a fucking 6v6 control in Iron Banner. Dumb. Dumb. If you're doing it, I think it's dumb. Fireborn, however, is key in trials, I guess. You know, but again, it's all prerogative. You know, it's all your prerogative. A lot of times I'll run Radiant Skin, even in PvP, because a lot of people will see that. They'll be like, oh, okay, we're going up against a Sunbreaker Titan with Pulse and Sniper, and, oh, 2 Sunsingers. All right, they got self-res. Not many people actually inspect the subclass. I do. But that, in a way, doesn't mean anything because you can switch it at any time. But anyway, this is my PvP build. What do I use for PvP? For gear, Light Beyond Nemesis, Calls of Ahimkara. You know, again, this all goes over just like my last one where, you know, you want to use your gauntlets that are, you know, reloading for your weapon, chest for more ammo, legs for more ammo for the weapons that you're using. Let's go with PvE. PvE, believe it or not, I still use Firebolt with Viking Funeral and Touch of Flame. I really do. I don't use the double fusion. Fusions are great, but I like my target to continuously burn. It keeps your shield down instead of one big burst. Again, my prerogative, and it's your prerogative as well. Fireborn, of course, I usually don't run Radiant Skin. Fireborn is just a little bit of a lifesaver, you know, when you need it, a little bit of second chance. However, I've noticed when I've played King's Fall with my group, I always notice a lot of the Sunsingers in my raid for Oryx die a lot. So my question is to them, hey guys, or I guess it's not a question, I guess I tell them, hey guys, stop playing so aggressively and so ballsy just because you're a Sunsinger. And I've noticed that a lot throughout my my time in Destiny since Vanilla. That Sunsingers will play extra ballsy and not quite give a shit because they know they can just pop Radiance. I don't recommend that kind of gameplay. Don't play that kind of gameplay. Play it as if you don't have it, because then if you play it ballsy and then you use it because you were ballsy and you know you have it, and then you pop that Radiance, and then that Radiance goes out, and then you get yourself into a sticky situation 3 minutes down the road, and your super's not up yet, and you die in hard mode, now you fucked your team. That is just my fully recommendation on my Warlock Sunsinger class. I see it all the time. You guys play however you want to play. I'm just giving you my setup for my subclasses. Positive rating is always appreciated. Thank you all very much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic remaining of your weekend.